up, guys? Welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kiana Stewart, and I am so happy to be back here for another week just chilling and talking about stuff in entertainment world. And I hope you guys are all having a good week, and I am joined by two lovely ladies. We have
Beth.
And we have
Courtney.
Thank you guys for joining me today.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for you guys to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So basically, what I want to start off with are the Tony Awards. And basically, if you guys aren't really curious about what the Tonys are, they're basically the Oscars for Broadway shows. And for me, I am a sucker for Broadway. Like, I love New York in all of its glory. Diehard fan, love you, New York. But honestly, the show was 4 hours. I will say that. I did not watch the whole show, and I really don't watch the Tonys, and it's a good show, I respect it and everything like that, but it was 4 hours. I ain't got time for that, I got other stuff to do. But the only reason why I did watch it was because an actor who I watched, who did a live production of Grease a few years ago, he actually was nominated for his work that he did for Moulin Rouge, pretty much. And Moulin Rouge is one of my favorite shows. I love it. And he actually won for Best Actor in a leading role.
That's awesome. What a feat.
I mean, because I've heard his name before. I'm like, wait, that name sounds so familiar. I'm like, oh, yeah, he was Danny Zuko. Now I remember. Tell me about it.
Exactly.
Stud.
Exactly. No, I'm a huge theater fan. I was the theater kid all through high school. I was president of my Thespian Honor Society.
Really?
If I toot my own horn a little bit.
We get
but
it.
yeah, so
Okay, we get it. Stop bragging.
Okay. I'm just saying I've watched the Tonys pretty much for as long as I can remember. But this week I did not because I can't even remember what I was doing. I know. Shame on me
Beth.
and my whole family. But no, I didn't because COVID has been happening. Broadway hasn't even been open. I was kind of like, I don't really want to watch that. Nothing interesting is going to happen there.
Yeah.
But a lot of interesting things did happen, apparently. It was a pretty cool night.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about it is because of COVID, Broadway has obviously been shut down and everything like that. And to watch it and to see all the Broadway performances that have been going on and everything like that, it was just so nice to be able to know that Broadway is finally coming back. Now, the only thing that I have in mind is to make the money and go to New York and actually see a show. That's been my goal since high school. I'm still working on it, but...
Oh, you got to do it.
I know, because New York is my dream. I love it.
When you say New York is your dream, do you want to live there and work
Yes.
there? Okay. What are you looking to do? Work on Broadway specifically?
Yeah,
or?
I've been a stage baby since Yay High.
Yeah.
So, I love singing, acting, dancing. I'm studying theater right now.
That's
so,
awesome.
It's always been my dream, but I'm also New York and LA, so I want to do 50-50, but we'll see.
That's how I am. So I want to go into production and late night TV. So I'm kind of I could go to New York, I could go to LA. We could do either of the two. So hey, maybe I'll see you there.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's likely, with how big those cities are.
We can go get a coffee and scones.
Exactly.
And it'll be $100.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing too. It's so expensive. I hate it, but I feel like it would be worth it, even though my bank account's gonna be why are you doing this to me?
Well, and there's so much going on with people on Broadway that couldn't work because of COVID.
Yes.
That they're still living in New York, but they cannot afford because they haven't been able to work this whole time. So there are so many different initiatives. A lot that I think were highlighted in the Tonys.
Yeah. So it's really nice to be able to see the people who are going to be on Broadway, and now that the Tonys were a great representation of those working actors getting back to Broadway and actually starting to make a living again. That's what I really appreciated about the Tonys this year. So I'm glad that I didn't watch the 4-hour show, but I'm just glad I got to see most of it because it's sending a message that Broadway's back. I'm so pumped.
Honestly, I feel if you didn't want to watch the whole thing, I feel Daily Mail on Snapchat will give you all the highlights. You can just Google the winners and be all right, I'm good. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Sometimes I like to watch certain things that they air live, and I just want to be able to watch it live without having to look afterwards if I miss it, because that's just the excitement for me watching live, because live TV is just so exhilarating. So there you go.
I know, I totally agree. And then because especially during the Tonys and the Oscars and stuff like that, I mean, Twitter blows up whenever any of these things happen. So you can not even watch the show, but then be on Twitter and know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, the Oscars are different. I will watch the Oscars and then I'll see on Twitter and everything like that. But if I can't watch it, I will not look on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
because I want to be able to enjoy it live. And then I'll be okay with watching it the day after, so I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Fair, I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed the Tonys, even though I didn't watch the whole thing. I keep on repeating that because I don't know why. But what are you guys here to talk about, basically?
We wanted to talk about Marvel. So
Yes.
there's been all of this like drama going on with Marvel and Black Widow and Scarlett
yeah.
Johansson recently
Good.
with like the Disney lawsuit, and I haven't heard. I mean, in the past like couple weeks or so, there hasn't been a lot of kind of like development with the Disney lawsuit.
I
So-
was confused by that lawsuit. Like, was she suing the Disney company because
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
didn't get paid properly? Or
So
because,
in her contract, it states, because this movie deal with Black Widow has been in production for a few years now, and then it got delayed because of COVID. So in her original contract, it states that she would have a theater-only release because that's how she would get the most money and endorsements and all that good stuff. But since they did a partial streaming release on Disney Plus as well as in theaters, she did not get enough money as stated in her original contract, which honestly, I gotta applaud her because Disney will
girl-
pay, and she's in the right. So
And yeah, that girl has been working hard for a long time, specifically for Marvel. She deserved to have her own movie, and she deserved to get paid for it, honestly.
I mean,
Yeah.
good lord, the first Iron Man movie literally came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Like, she's been in the game for far too long.
Far too
Yeah,
long
I
to
know.
not have her own movie, that's
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly.
Because, I mean, like, when she started and she was in Iron Man, that was a pretty small role. She killed it and became, like, one of the biggest sensations of Marvel. And one of the,
you
like,
can't go wrong with Natasha.
you can't go
love
wrong with
her.
Natasha.
I mean, she's pretty amazing.
I mean, she like set the blueprint for all of these other female superheroes that came out. I mean, you've got like Wonder Woman, you've got Captain Marvel. I mean, Florence Pugh just came out with Yelena
I forgot
Belova.
about Captain Marvel.
Love her.
Courtney is more of a Marvel fan than I am. I will admit I have not seen Captain Marvel. I'm sure that it is a great. Oh, now Courtney's giving me a look. Now Courtney's giving me a look.
You about to give me a look right now. I only saw 20 minutes of Captain Marvel.
Which 20 minutes? Like the beginning, the ending?
Yeah, the beginning. Because like I was
Fair.
bored one day and I wanted to watch movies that I hadn't catch up on and everything like that. And I clicked on like Captain Marvel, but then I was like, it's only been 20 minutes. Like I need like something like interesting to happen, and then I just shut it off.
Okay.
Oh
Do
my
not-
goodness.
do not-
Oh my goodness.
Courtney, fill us in. Tell us about Captain Marvel. What are we missing?
So the beginning of Captain Marvel.
Just no spoilers.
Okay.
I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
Yikes.
I mean, like, you can
Curious
spoil
to
it.
see.
I'm probably not
I'm
gonna
gonna
watch
do
it.
this. I think you would actually love it, Beth, especially because of your feminist pro agenda right now.
Right now,
Right.
I'm pro-feminist all the time, baby.
I know, but I just feel like you'd really enjoy it because it shows how passionate she is to herself. So basically, the whole storyline goes with her life has been taken away from her because her memory's been erased per se, and so then she's been
I did not know that.
Interesting.
You,
I know,
I don't
we gotta
want to.
watch
I don't want
past
to
the first
spoil
20
anything,
minutes.
Yeah,
but
please
she has this amazing sidekick character, Monica Rambeau. Absolutely love her, and she's got a daughter, and she's just they just have such a good friendship that I really respect. And even though through the entire process of Carol Danvers losing her memory and all that good stuff, she stuck by her side.
You said Cara Danvers?
Carol Danvers, yeah.
Oh.
Cara
That's
Danvers
her
is Supergirl.
That's her
I know, I
human
know.
name.
That's the thing. I get those
Yeah.
names mixed up because you say Cara and then you say Carol. I'm like, okay, which one is Captain Marvel
It's
and
that.
which one's Supergirl?
It's that DC Marvel crossover that's
I know.
really confusing.
But then I'm just like, why you gotta use their last name though? Like that's
yeah.
well,
I'm
there
dedicated.
should only be one Danvers.
Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel.
I don't know. I was a big Supergirl fan.
I
For-
still
for a
am.
while.
I still am. And
I haven't
like,
watched it in a long time.
And you do know this is the final season, right? Of Supergirl.
Okay, I'll get
Of
back
ever?
on it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't
Interesting.
surprise me because the main actress just had a baby.
I know.
She's married to her love interest in the show.
I know.
Yeah,
Who's cute, by the way?
He is cute.
Good-
It's like Chris
for them.
Wood. Is that his name?
Yes.
What a man.
There's too many
What a man.
Chris's in the superhero world.
There's too many.
There's
Chris's
too
in
many
the-
Like,
in the
Chris's.
superhero.
Evans.
Chris Pine, Chris
Chris
Hemsworth,
Hemsworth.
Chris
Yeah.
Pratt.
Ugh,
I can't do
Chris
it.
Pratt.
I know.
I can't do
know.
it. I'm
like,
over it.
But Chris Evans, he was my favorite. Like,
Oh, obviously,
but
hands
then
down.
like it changed to Thor. That's the thing. Like whenever I watch these Marvel movies, like at first it was Thor. I fell in love with him, and then there was Captain America, and then I fell in love with Chris Evans. Did I already say that?
Yeah, he's Captain America.
Yeah. And then like it was Mark Ruffalo. I mean, you can't go.
Okay,
wrong.
but now it's Tom Hiddleston, right?
Oh, it's been
Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes.
You can't not talk about Loki if you're going to talk about Marvel, man.
I still
You've
haven't
seen
seen
it.
the series yet.
You
Oh,
have, girl,
you
you
gotta
have
watch
to
the
get on that.
Like that's the thing. Like I always say, I'm gonna watch most of these shows, but then most of the time I just live under a rock.
The thing is, that's how I got into Marvel, because I had friends who were really into it, and they were like, "You gotta watch Loki. You have to. You don't have to like understand the Marvel movies to like watch Loki and really know what's happening."
Yeah.
So I watched it, and then I was like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen." And so I went through and spent pretty much a week just watching all of the Marvel movies, just every single one, and now I'm obsessed.
They're so good. Honestly,
Except every single one except for Captain Marvel.
I mean, I will say this. I did watch WandaVision, and I'm on the first episode of
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
That is
I
my
Oh,
haven't watched that one
absolute
yet,
probably.
but I did watch WandaVision.
That was
And can I say Bucky with his hair? I'm like,
Mm.
okay. Like,
He has been my favorite since the beginning. And actually, it's funny that you mentioned Bucky because Sebastian Stan is my favorite actor of all time. Sebastian Stan actually auditioned to play Captain America
I heard
in the
that,
original
yeah. Oh, that makes
movies.
so much sense.
But they were like, "Hey, you should be Bucky instead." And he was like, "Who the hell is Bucky?" And they were like, "Perfect, absolutely perfect for this
hell is
role."
Do that. Just do that.
Absolutely.
The whole time.
and let Chris Evans hold the realm of the shield.
Honestly, yeah.
Chris Evans gets all the glory, but Bucky does all
But
the
then,
work.
like,
Chris is out of the game for right now.
That's true.
But now,
I love his ending.
Yeah, but now that I see it, like, you know, like if, and I hate to say this because I love Sebastian Stan too, but like if he were to be Captain America, and then imagine Chris Evans would play Bucky, like, I don't know how.
Oh, that would not
I could
work.
not handle
Yeah,
that.
I think that if he were to play Captain America, Bucky would have to be like, maybe like Tom Hiddleston, somebody who's a little bit more like alternative.
You're stretching
So
it.
I
You're
kinda-
stretching
I
it
think
back.
that it could work. I think that it could work.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, everything works out as it should, but like, it just wouldn't work out if Chris Evans were to play Bucky and then Sebastian would play Captain America. I just couldn't see that.
I think they'd be very different characters.
I know.
And I honestly just love how it is. I've loved watching Sebastian Stan play Bucky throughout the entire history of the MCU, and his character development within the character and how he just carries that and how much he's grown as an actor in the past 10 years of being in the MCU. Absolutely astonishing. I'm a big fan of his work. Can't say enough about that man.
Yeah, even though it did break my heart that, like, Steve and Tony, like, their relationship, it was kind of like, then and there, like, they were always bantering and bickering at each other, and especially to hear that, his best friend killed Tony's father, like, that was kind of sad for me because I kind of feel like they were really getting along, but then, like, when I watched Endgame, I was like, okay, there's some progress being made here until Tony died. Like, to be honest, like, Tony will always be, like, like my favorite because, he always keeps it real. Like, he doesn't really take anything too seriously, even though it can get annoying. Like, it can get under people's skin, but, like, he always kept it real, and he was the first. Like, Iron Man, like...
He really paved the way for the entire MCU.
I
He
know.
did. He did.
Robert Downey Jr., like, he just rocks. Like...
So true. I will say the first time when I was doing my binge watch of all the Marvel movies,
Oh, no.
I didn't know that he died in Endgame. Like, somehow, it had been a long time since the movie came out. I mean, like, it was
Lucky
this
for
summer.
you not to get spoiled by that.
I know. And I didn't even know. And so I was talking to my friend who told me to watch all of them, and I sent him a video of me just crying after I'd watched the scene. And I was like, you didn't tell me that this happened.
no.
Why didn't you give me any warning? I was so mad at him. I
Yeah,
was
but the
so
thing
mad.
is, when Endgame was coming out, like, I was already hearing a lot of things, which I was mad at myself for looking at because everybody was like, don't spoil Endgame, don't spoil Endgame. And do you think people are actually going to listen to you?
Yeah.
And, like, I kind of heard what happened at the end, but I didn't want to believe it until I actually got the chance to watch it. And so when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, it is true. So that kind of like broke my heart because I had to find out online rather than having to watch the movie myself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the dangers of, like, like the Marvel, because they'll want to spoil everything for you when people haven't had the chance to watch it. And sometimes they even spoil it before the movie comes out. I'm like, why do people got to ruin it for everybody else?
You just gotta get in the theaters when it opens.
It's
And
true.
I know.
Honestly, I feel like Tony Stark's death was probably my favorite death and way to end.
That was quite a way to put that.
It was just beautiful to see him like finally make the sacrifice play because in the original Avengers that came out in 2012,
Yeah.
when they first started fighting and they were in the control room, Captain America looks at him and he's like, "You're nothing without the big suit. You're not the one to make the sacrifice play." And the
True.
fact that like 9 years later when the movie came out, he actually did make the sacrifice play and he saved the entire universe. And honestly, that was.
I mean, spoilers.
I'm sorry about that. Hey, that movie's been out for like 3 years now. I think you're fine.
Really? I thought it was 2 years. It feels like 2.
I don't know.
But I will say this:
sure.
when Endgame was coming out and everything like that, like I hear like one theater was actually like having like a showcase to show all 22 Marvel films leading up to Endgame. I don't know if I would have put myself through that. I know my stepdad would because he is a huge Marvel fan and he is really indebted to Black Panther.
That sounds awesome.
Courtney, would you have done it?
I mean, I would have had to wear like 4 diapers so I couldn't like leave. But like, are you kidding me though?
I'm
For
sure
Marvel,
bathroom breaks.
absolutely.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I could see my stepdad doing it because like, you know, he's a huge Marvel fan and like, you know, like he loves Black Panther, which I'm still kind of sad that he died.
I mean, now there's this new phase of Marvel movies that are coming out. We've got Shang-Chi.
Oh,
we've got
Absolutely
Eternals.
amazing, by the way. Go see that movie. He did absolutely amazing. Shang-Chi, probably one of my top 5. I love the
I
character
haven't
development.
seen it yet. I'm waiting to see it.
Gotta
so.
go see it. It's absolutely amazing.
And
See it in
then-
theaters.
Yeah, and then they're making a Black Panther 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I was really concerned of the fact that, you know, they said that they weren't going to replace his role, but now people are actually talking about replacing his role now. So
I haven't
like,
seen
I'm kind
anything
of on
about
the
that.
edge about that because, like, you know, there will never be another Chadwick Boseman who
Absolutely
played
not.
that role. But then at the same time, like, if you guys are trying to make like another Black Panther, you're trying to honor their wishes and you know, but still trying to keep it loyal to the fans. But I feel like regardless, it's gonna be awesome and they're gonna pay a good tribute to Chadwick.
I think so, definitely.
I really think so too. I mean, huge Marvel nerd here, but I think it would be really in poor taste for Chadwick Boseman to remember him as by like dubbing him in, and they've already basically said that they're not going to. A lot of fan theories have been like, oh, they should bring Killmonger back, and I'm like, absolutely not. Love Michael B. Jordan, but he is not the Black Panther.
Yeah, and there's actually been talks about, you know, the girl who played his sister to take on
Shuri,
Black
yeah.
Panther. I would love to see that.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that.
What
Oh
I
my
would
gosh.
love to see happen.
Going back to feminist Marvel theory.
Yeah,
hello.
absolutely.
Girl power.
What
Girl
I think
power.
would be even cooler is to split up the mantle of King and Black Panther, because I think Shuri, it would be an absolutely phenomenal queen, but I don't think she's a good warrior to take on the Black Panther. So I would love to see Okoye, which is
too
the
like
leader
that.
of the Dora Milaje, be the Black Panther, and then have Shuri be the queen.
Yeah, because Shuri's
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, because Shuri's a little too laid back and funny. Like, you know, like she needs to like grow a little bit more to like take things seriously instead of just making jokes all the time. Like, I love Shuri, but like, come on, you need to like toughen up a little bit if you want to like take on your brother's role.
Yeah. Well, and they're making a new Thor movie.
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. I gotta say, Thor is definitely my favorite by
Interesting.
far.
And
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman
Absolutely.
is coming back. Did you know? Okay, so I've loved Thor and I can't remember her name.
Jane.
Just
Jane.
as long as he has his eyebrows a normal color.
That's so
I
true.
can't deal with the bleach eyebrows. Can't do it.
So so there's like a scene in the second Thor movie right at the very end where Natalie Portman, what's her character's name?
Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. So Jane Foster runs out and like Thor has just like beamed back in and they kiss right at the very end. And it's like the best chemistry moment that they ever have in all of their 2 movies that they're together, right?
Yeah.
And then like it came out like during the press for the movie that's actually his wife that he's kissing. Like Natalie Portman couldn't be on set.
I remember that.
Natalie Portman couldn't be on set, and so
Yeah,
they just
I
like put his
remember that.
wife in a wig and sent her out. And so as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my god, everything makes sense. That's why there was so much chemistry between the 2 of
I'm
them.
gonna go kiss my man.
And honestly.
But now, like, now that a new Thor movie's coming out, I really want to see like Thor and Jane like rebuild their relationship, and hopefully they get back together. Even though I don't know if they're gonna stay true to the comics or anything like that, but you know, we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I think that we could see
will.
Natalie Portman like take over a more like leadership role with the gang, if you will.
Yes.
I think that we could see a lot of that, and maybe they don't have to get back into a romantic relationship. I feel like there's so much like pressure put on women in the Marvel to always be in a romantic relationship. So maybe she can just be a
Strong
cool
women
lady.
do not need a man beside on their arm candy.
So true.
True.
So true.
Yeah,
But who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see in a few years when it comes out.
I know.
So yeah.
Well, that is it. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. Like,
Yes,
girl
thank you,
power
Kiana.
all around,
Honestly.
talking about it and everything like that. And thank you guys so much for listening. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I will see you guys next week with new hosts. Even though I love these two, like, but y'all gotta go. And I don't. And I mean that nicely.
Okay,
peace
then.
out.
But we will see you guys next week for another episode. And stay safe. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.